The term circulation refers to a process of distribution of soluble or insoluble materials through a suitable fluid medium. In the case of vertebrates, this fluid medium happens to be blood. That is, it contains red blood corpuscles. The other components of circulatory system are heart, that's the main pumping station, and the different types of blood vessels. When we talk about circulation in human beings, it is said to be double circulation. That is, the blood flows in two different cycles. One cycle that carries deoxygenated blood from heart towards lungs for oxygenation. This oxygenated blood is brought back to the heart and it is distributed to all over the body. On deoxygenation, this blood is collected and brought back to the heart and sent again to the lungs for oxygenation. The cycle that functions between heart and the lungs, it's called as pulmonary circulation, and the one that functions between heart and rest of the organs, it's called as systemic circulation. For double circulation, the heart requires to be made up of 4 different chambers. 2 atrial chambers for receiving blood and 2 ventricular chambers for distributing blood. In this session, we are going to know something more about the human heart. Human heart is described as a myogenic heart. That is, the heartbeats are initiated within the cardiac muscles. They are not directly regulated by the brain or the nervous system. Though the heartbeats are initiated in the cardiac muscles, the rate of heartbeats to quite an extent is under the control of nervous system. Let's get to understand a few details about human heart. Human heart is located ventromedially, that is, it's behind the mediastinum, that is the sternum into which ribs are seen to be joining. Behind the sternum, between the 2 lungs and rested on the diaphragm. Its broader end called base is seen to be facing the right shoulder, and the narrow or tapering end called apex is seen to be facing left side of the thoracic cavity, and it is rested on the diaphragm. That's about the positioning. When we talk about the morphometry, the size measurements, if say this is the heart, this length is around 13 centimeters, the height is about 9 centimeters, and the width or the diameter is around 6 centimeters. The weight is 260 grams in females, 310 grams in males. Now, this being one of the most important organs in the body, it needs to be appropriately protected. First of all, the protection is because of the thoracic cage, the rib cage, that will cover the heart from all the sides. In addition to that, the heart proper is covered by coverings called pericardial membranes. These pericardial membranes, here we can try to understand them. The outermost covering is a fibrous layer, thick protective covering, while inside that is a thin membranous serous layer which is folded back near the apex, and thus it forms a double sac-like covering. The gap in between the 2 serous layers is filled in with a serous fluid that is secreted by the serous membrane. So now it will be a fibrous layer and a double fluid-filled serous layer. The outer fibrous layer along with the outer component of serous layer, it forms the parietal pericardium, while the inner serous layer, which is in direct contact with the heart, is called as visceral pericardium, or it's also called as epicardium. These three epicardial coverings, they offer a complete protection to the heart from, first of all, the mechanical injuries. If at all there are any mechanical injuries, they will be absorbed by the fluid-filled membranous covering around, so heart would remain duly protected. The fluid will prevent desiccation of the cardiac tissue, drying, loss of water by the cardiac tissue. And thirdly, because the heart remains suspended in this fluid-filled sac, its beating, its movement is completely frictionless. We need to understand that the heart starts beating right at the time of birth and it continues to beat till the death. And how many beats? It will be around 70 beats, 70 contractions and 70 relaxations every minute. Multiply that with the number of years, convert that into number of minutes and multiply it by 70. That many times it has to beat. So this beating, this functioning has to be completely frictionless. And this is possible because of the pericardial coverings.